And a very, very warm welcome along, everybody. Happy Friday. We've made it to the end of another working week, and we have an absolutely smashing Quackport for you today. We're going to be running SWANNA. Very, very last minute arrangement, this one, wasn't it? We despised it? No, we don't despise it. We might do at the end of this challenge, but we spoke about it on stream yesterday, and I was really inspired to get it backported. So welcome in Buddy, Chad, and I know Kamakiku was in a little bit earlier on as well. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day today. And now we do have the Quackport to get on with. After the run, I will show you the Ducklet sprite as well, because we did do both Ducklet and SWANNA. But this is what our SWANNA ended up looking like in the end. Kind of difficult to do those later generation Pokemon in the Gen 2 style, but I think I just about got away with it. If you squint and don't look too hard, it looks just about like a SWANNA. Now, I have given the rival the Totodile line on this, because we have super effective against the Cyndaquil via Water Gun. We've got super effective against Chikorita via Wing Attack, so that just leaves, by process of elimination, we only had the Totodile line left to go. I'm happy with how this backport came out. Now, quick disclaimer, the way I've done Tailwind might break the speed stat in this challenge, but I am prepared for once. Doesn't happen very often, but I am prepared. I've got a backup where Tailwind is just a dummy move instead. So that will happen whether or not we use Tailwind, by the way. It does a whole new speed check, is what I've had to code to get Tailwind working as it should. I think it works, but we do have backups. So without any further ado, I think that's all the intro we need for Ducklet and SWANNA. Let's see how we get on. Hidden Power Ice for this one. Standard Hidden Power type for the water Pokemon we run. And we're going to put Wing Attack in top spot. Yeah, we are very much a mixed attacker, which means that we can use our flying type moves. The back sprite definitely isn't my best work. I think I could possibly have done a little bit more detail around the face. But it was really bloody difficult to get a back sprite working in any shape with this Pokemon. Surprisingly difficult. You find that, though, with a lot of Pokemon who are white in colour. They are very difficult to get right. Wing Attack is absolutely spammable. It's got a ridiculous amount of PP. And having a base 60 power up to 90 with Stab move early on in game is definitely going to be a benefit. Plus, add on top of that the fact that we get Falkner's badge boost and the physical boost from Falkner. Wing Attack is going to be a very, very strong move. At least for the early parts of this challenge, we'll definitely keep it over Fly. Very easy Sprout Tower with Wing Attack. I think I will do a run-up Sprout Tower just because it will be so easy. And it'll give us a few extra experience points for Whitney. Yeah, the diversity is the issue with SWANNA. Very much the diversity is the issue. It is just water and flying via level up, and we get normal as well. And I suppose we get ice via both Ice Beam and Hidden Power. I have given ourselves Headbutt. Not sure if we should be learning Headbutt, but I thought SWANNA is the kind of Pokemon that would absolutely choose to Headbutt. Just look at it in the overlay there. Now, I'm probably going to be a little bit quieter on stream than normal today, because I have strained my voice a little bit. I'm still unsure of what's happening next week. So I'm trying to get a backlog done. So I've recorded 3 videos today. I did a further 3 yesterday before stream. So I am very much going to be resting my voice over on Saturday. I might do a stream on Sunday. Depends on how my voice is. But then by February, everything should, in big inverted commas, be back to normal. Completely agree about Drill Peck. Drill Peck would make this Pokemon even better than it already is. Drill Peck is actually a move that, with Dodrio, we delay evolution to get Drill Peck, so that we've got Drill Peck for the Chuck battle to make it a little bit quicker. There are very few Pokemon where we delay evolution. The only other one I can think of off the top of my head is good old Smoochum, so that we can get a Psychic type move a little bit earlier on. Because the other move we'd get in that slot is Ice Punch, and we can get that via TM regardless. This backport, by the way, was also a lot bigger of a project than I thought it would be. I know I managed to get it done overnight, but this has the highest number of backported moves we have ever seen in any of our backports. We have 11 new moves in total. So I had to get rid of quite a few moves. Razor Wind and Sky Attack are my two go-tos because we don't see them throughout the course of the challenge and nobody naturally learns them via level up. Then Lugia and Ho-Oh have been screwed over because we don't get Aeroblast or Sacred Fire in this game without trading to Pokemon Colosseum first. Colosseum? Stadium 2, rather. And then we said goodbye to Morning Sun because nobody has it in the course of the challenge run. We got rid of Pain Split again because nobody has it. Still didn't have enough room. Had to get rid of Skull Bash as well. But we just about fit all the moves in. I also had to delete a lot of unused stuff in the Battle Core, the main battle engine, because we ran out of space 3 or 4 times doing this. Yeah, Gen 9 absolutely helps the learn set with Volcarona. Not Volcarona. SWANNA. Don't know where Volcarona came from. I don't know that much about it either, but 87, 87, and 93 is pretty good. Clefairy can pull Brave Bird, yes. Worst case scenario is that Clefairy pulls Feather Dance. Like, that would be absolute worst case scenario, Whitney. We'd take a reset regardless. Because Water Gun ain't gonna do out. Flippin' heck, Kamikiku. Thank you so much for the £20 super chat. I do want to make it clear, I didn't do this backport with the intention of you doing anything like that. I did it because you have been so positive throughout the course of many years on the channel, and it was just my little way of saying thank you. But thank you so much for the Quackport super chat here. I'll make sure to not eat any birds through that super chat. I will avoid the KFC. Don't need to PP heal because good old Wing Attack has oodles of PP. So let us get into the next gym. The first gym, rather. Water Pulse, yes please. I think a lot of those Pokemon that learn Drill Peck are via Egg Move. Welcome in, Kanbei. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're not snowed in. It's weird to remember we are a mixed attacker here, so we can go for both types of attacking move. Zephyr Badge in 633, considering we are already up the Sprout Tower. That is not bad. Welcome along. Nobody. Why did I say welcome along? I am not with it today. I've done too many recordings. Been for a haircut. I'm going to cut what's left of my hair at the weekend. I'm either going to go for the complete bald look again, or I'm going to try and have like a mohawk, faux hawk type thing for a little while. Haven't quite decided. See where the vibe takes me over the weekend. I've just had my second sweet chili chicken wrap of the day before coming on air today. Had my first one at the midpoint of the second recording. I have now got our first official Fire Red challenge over the line. I am very much considering releasing Kyogre to the public, though. So we might have almost back-to-back Fire Red challenges later this month. I will say the Kingdra video is a hot mess, but I had fun doing it. You can tell it's not my area of expertise. I've not done Galarian Farfetch'd yet, however I do want to. Mostly because I am convinced I will gaslamp myself into believing it's a flying type when actually it's fighting. I got my Tesco equivalent of Spotify Wrapped, and I was in the top 1% of buyers for sweet chili chicken wraps in my area. Can't get enough of them. Coughing has no special defense, so we'll use some water pulses there. See, I don't drink hot drinks, so I could imagine that I would be in the bottom percentage. Nobody in this house really drinks hot drinks, to be fair. Oh, you can rant about mayo all the time. I thoroughly agree with you, Kanbei. Mayo is foul. Tastes like feet. Youngster Joey was in the top percentage of Rattata until we came along. We showed him what for. I've never had ranch, but I have a feeling I won't like it. I love strawberry milkshake, but being so heavily lactose intolerant, I can't have it very often. And doing Crusher just isn't the same. You know what? I've never had honey mustard. I do like honey and I do like mustard though, so you never know. I might enjoy it. An ex of mine used to say that I lived under a rock with the food I consumed, to be fair. The food chat has started early. I'm very glad I ate just before streaming. I'll tell you what else I don't like. Bloody horseradish. Horseradish is just an excuse to set fire to your gob. Now, I do like a good bit of spicy food, but horseradish just is... It's in that kind of zone of it's spicy for the sake of being spicy. There's no place for horseradish. You're not wrong, Kanbei. Might as well do full trainers in this gym. It's going to be one-shots all round. Bugsy time. No, Deadpool. Horseradish is not an instrument. Here's me hoping I've got the reference right. Otherwise, I've just come across as a right dick. Hive badge acquired. Oh, the spice fumes up the nose are the worst, aren't they? Like, I've got a perpetually runny nose anyway. But spice brings it to a whole other level. Oh, I can feel it now even thinking about it. Oh. Also, going back to the whole lactose thing, I treated myself to a Terry's chocolate orange over Christmas. I thought, I'm not going to do much work. Hang on, we don't have HM items. What's gone on here? We have problem. That problem is we don't have HM items. How do we fix this? We panic for a second, first of all. I didn't set me options, did I, at the start of the challenge? That's what it is. There will be a way to fix this. Just going to take a quick second to do. We're going to do what we did yesterday, and we're going to hijack a sign. Let me rebuild this. It is what it is. I need to have some kind of visual indication in Game Hook as to when I am using HM items or not. It should be on by default these days, because we use HM items exclusively. It is on by default in 4 moves, but I haven't done it on by default yet in regular challenges. That is just a little mess up on my end. So what I need to do now is pause this timer. And then we should have, where's the Azalea Town sign? I use signs to reset everything in this game. Like when I'm doing proper ROM hacking, not backporting as in changing the storyline, signs are my best friend. That's the Slowpoke Wells sign. So now we should have the scythe. We've got a second key escape rope, that's fine. We will deposit this second key escape rope into the box. Check our bag, there we go. All the items are now back as they should be. And we can resume the timer. And now I need to get chat back up. Welcome in, Gemma. I hope you're able to get the prescription. And thank you once again, Kamikiku, for the super chat. You fell off the top of the screen while all of the technical issues were going on. Oh dear. I know we're running a duck, but that's definitely an egg. What the heck's gone on here? We've lost our Pokemon. Bloody hell. I blame ducks as well. And now we've got a pink screen. I'm not stressed. You're stressed. It's not me. I'm perfectly fine. Totally know what's going on here. Sometimes you've got to know when to call it a bad job. We're not going to abandon SWANNA. But we are going to run off the backup. We'll start over. I mean, we're only 13 minutes into the challenge. It's fine. I might skip Sprout Tower on this one as well. I don't think we need it. You get to see all the bits that don't normally happen on stream now. Thank you for popping in, buddy. I hope you have a wonderful day at work. Right, while we're here, this is what Ducklet looks like. Timer will auto start, so we will go back in a moment. And there's the back sprite. It's teeny tiny. To be fair, in Gen 5, it is teeny tiny like that as well on its sprite. 35, I believe, for evolution level. I can't remember what I named my Quaxley. Water Gun, Wing Attack, Defog and Water Sport are our moves. 24 HP at level 5, 15 HP, 12 Defense, 15 Special Attack, 12 Special Defense, and 16 in Speed. 35 is definitely low in the context of Gen 5. I am going to stretch a little bit for just a minute or two before getting into this run now, because we are a little bit disjointed. And doing the bit from here until like the end of the radio tower, or the start of the radio tower, probably going to be cramping up beforehand. I name my Pokemon alphabetically, using people names, so I'll start at A for my first Pokemon, and I'll go through the alphabet. Always have done when I play Pokemon, not in a challenge run setting. I like rude names. I like that on the Switch you can switch to the Greek keyboard. And enter in rude names if they contain a Greek letter. Now, while I am doing a stretch, hopefully I've managed to keep my face at a reasonable level to the microphone. I might sound a little bit far away. Oh, that was my chair if that came through. Are there any other Pokemon you think we should backport? We are going to be focusing on the Gen 3, but I don't want to burn out on it, so I am open to other backport ideas. For Galarian Farfetch'd is a good idea. I like that idea. But I am open to other suggestions as well. I've been wanting to backport Shells and Gastrodon for quite some time, but I don't know how I want to do their different forms. Mudsdale will probably be really good in Gen 2. Ground type is a low-key, very strong type in Gen 2. Oricorio will be very interesting. Copperaja is one that I don't know how well it will do, actually. Because that's just pure steel, isn't it? Burnett is coming. Burnett is already backported. We're doing that as part of the Gen 3 Championship, so you don't have too long to wait in the grand scheme of things. It'll be later this year. Tyrantrum would be great. And the good thing about Mudsdale is, because we've got the Quick Claw and with a ground type, we could potentially luck a red battle. Like, use a bunch of curses, get up to max attack and max defense, and then just sweep with a Quick Claw. Aegislash probably wouldn't be that difficult to do. I just need to know the condition for swapping sprites, because we've got the Megas that swap stats. We've done Electivire versus Magmortar before, but it's always worth a redo of those. Oh, Grimmsnarl, I forgot that was a Pokemon. Is that Dark Fairy, or am I talking complete nonsense? Love Disc is coming. It's part of the Gen 3 stuff. We'll do that next month. Marowak Alola has already been backported, and Kanbei, you will see in about 4 hours' time that that one is a very apt choice. Anyway, that's enough of me being fully distracted. Keep the conversation going. This early part of the challenge is easy. Just realised we should probably keep on going. Whiscash is coming. Anything in Gen 3 is guaranteed to come now. All barring the Regis from Gen 3 have been backported. Good morning, Malasalis. I hope you're doing very well today. You have missed a whole load of technical issues, so I'm running on the backup version of the Quackport. This one, I will say, Tailwind does not work. Tailwind is broken, but we will outspeed literally everything anyway. So it is meaningless, and we're not going to learn Tailwind. I have some code that I'm writing at the moment, actually, for the Regis mat. We are going to check if we only have one move. If it's a self-destruct or explosion move, then we're going to go straight to struggle. So that way we can at least give them a fair shot. It won't be a 100% accurate shot, but that is the way we are going. Oh, I'm not a fan of the Gibble line, but I think it would be good. I am trying to take personal bias out of the backports now. Because for a very long time, I have just been backporting my favourites. I'm not looking forward to the Shedinja run at some point soon. I wish Furfru's haircuts did something. Porygon Z, again, definitely coming soon. There is something about Porygon Z, I can't remember what it is, that has prevented me backporting it before. I think there's a move that I just can't get my head around. But I really want to run it, because we've got Porygon 2 coming out soon again. And I want to see how well Porygon Z fares. Could somebody, if you get a moment, please tell me the speed stat of Porygon's final evolution? Because the speed stat is what holds Porygon 2 back. So if it's quicker, we should be in the money. One of the things I like about backporting the pseudo-legendaries, 90, perfect. Absolutely perfect. That will go very, very, very well. On a good day, we can get resetless. With 90 speed on the Porygon Z. 135 special attack. Right, I know what I'm doing if I've got the energy tonight. If somebody could get up its Gen 4 learn set and take a look through the moves and see if there's any that seem like they could be complex, I'll be able to tell you which move it is that is preventing that backport happening at the moment. This is where I wish like mind control for my phone was a thing. So I could look up the learn set and play, because this is mindless holding A at the moment. Magnet Rise is fine. We've done that with Togedemaru and with Magnezone. Magic Coat, that's it. Magic Coat is the reason I've not done it, because that is a hell of a lot of work. Right, we have the key escape rope. That is part one of the problem. Doesn't matter if I'd use it, I can't bring myself to backport without full learn set. Call it a touch of the tism there, but... Well, I am more than a touch of the tism, but you know what I mean, like... I am a perfectionist with my backports. What does Eerie Impulse do? I've not played modern Pokemon in a while. I say that, I played Legend ZA, but the move never came up. Oh, lowers special attack by 2 stages. That could be really useful against some of Red's Pokemon. Like, that could give us an opportunity to set up against Espeon. I like how Birdkeeper Peter goes, I know what my weaknesses are, and doesn't reference the fact that we've got an infinitely better duck than he will ever have. We have the best duck. Sorry, Snow, if you're watching this or on the VOD. Our duck is better than Campertod's duck. I do like the idea, you know, of backporting all of the Gen 4 evolutions of the first 2 gen of Pokemon. Because we've got some very interesting Pokemon in that mix. We've got some good ones. We've seen like Gliscor got resetless. Then there are some not so good ones. I think at the moment Gen 5 is going to be kind of like the latest gen I'm backporting. Mostly because I'm going to need to learn a hell of a lot more code for Pokemon from Gen 6 onwards. Gen 5 to 6 was where the moves started to get a little bit more complex. And the learn set started becoming a lot more filled out. I mean, if this was a native Gen 2 Pokemon, we'd have probably about a quarter of the level up moves that we have now. And actually, level up moves like this, or a learn set like this, slows the rundown by about a minute. With all the times that we have to say no to learning moves. It's nice to have Aerial Ace in our back pocket as well. Aerial Ace could come in handy for being sand attacked by the Kimono Girls. Yeah, I reckon we probably would start off with Gust. I've just noticed my mic is peaking slightly. Let me turn it down ever so slightly. So that way you're not getting horrible clipping noises. I think we probably would get Wing Attack in the 30s with this Pokemon. They kind of set precedent in Gen 3 with Tailo getting it. I think it's at level 9 for Tailo's Wing Attack. We're nearly back where we were as well now, thank goodness. Bugsy time, bug type specialist. Leads with Metapod. Now we are running a level or so lower because we didn't do Sprout Tower this time, but should be fine. 935 for the Hive badge. My big worry in this one is electric type moves, so we are very lucky actually that there aren't too many electric type Pokemon we'll come up against. Haha, you got confused, but we didn't. Yeah, Surge is bad. We're back in the forest of Pokemon becoming eggs. If we make it out the other side, we've made it further and the backport is just about holding up. Yeah, I reckon we'll one-shot with Surf, the Magneton line. We are lucky in the sense that Magnemite has a no special defense whatsoever. Same with Jasmine, same with the Team Rocket who has the Magnemite. It's weird to think that Ducklet, Pelipper, Mantine and Gyarados are all the same type. And then you've got Cramorant as well. But I can see similarities between Cramorant and Swanna at the very least. I'm looking forward to the Pelipper challenge as well, mostly because pelicans are one of my favourite animals in the world. Definitely my favourite bird. Like, if you want to see me smile, just show me pictures of pelicans and I will be in my bloody element. We'll get our first taste of an electric-type Pokemon now. Flying Water, just to be different. I do like that they finally started giving Pokemon primary flying type. Only took them 8 generations to make a pure flying type that isn't a legendary. And then I think they started giving a lot more Pokemon primary flying from then. We'll do our standard 3 trainers here on 35. I would love to use Feather Dance, but I can't see a use case for it. I think we're going to be one-shotting too many things. And we can't really hold on to it all the way until Red. Because it would be useful for the Bumphead Fire... Not the Bumphead Fire Duck, the Snorlax at Red. Puffins are underrated, and they totally should make a Pokemon based off a Puffin. Level 22 against Mark here. We're also very lucky in this run in the sense that grass is very much unseen. Noivern might be primary flying, you know. That is true. The 30% para chance is very nasty. Get ourselves up to 23 for the Whitney battle. And we'll pretend that not getting Abra was completely intentional there. I love penguins as well. One of my best friends, Mike, his favourite animal is a penguin. So whenever we played Minecraft together around National Penguin Day, I always build a penguin for him. I prefer Ice-Q as well over Empoleon. I think Ice-Q's a far better penguin Pokemon. Yeah, the joke on the back of the penguins is great. That Clefairy used Return of all moves. We got through Whitney. I was hoping for a flinch on turn 1, but didn't happen in the end. It makes no difference anyway, really, because we are going to go and heal. Grab the squirt bottle and we will do our heal here in Goldenrod. And off we trot towards Ecruteak. Some very awful movement en route. I'm also thinking about our Friday streams, because Friday's going to become a regular stream day again. And I think from the next Friday when I'm at home, either next week or 2 weeks today, I want to try and do regular Nuzlocke Fridays again. So should we start off with another gift lock on the next Friday stream? Because we do like a good gift lock. Oh, it's going to be a proper gift lock with the game's RNG, not a chat lock. I don't think I'm going to bring the chat lock back, at least in its current format. There's a lot of back-end issues and a lot of front-end issues with it that I'm just not happy with. We have Surf now. Surf is a very good move. I think a lot of the appeal as well of the gift lock is not knowing who we're going to get and how screwed over we'll be. That dugong will go down in channel history. Yeah, the last gift lock has set a very high bar for the drama, hasn't it? I loved that one. What moves this? Air slash. Yes. Yes, we will take the lower accuracy. Because that means we have a flinching move. That's stab. I love the drama that comes with the gift lock. And do you all want to know a little secret? Started coding the gift lock for Gen 1. So we can do a Gen 1 gift lock, and I'm going to try and fit as many backported Pokemon as we can into the gift lock version of Gen 1. So it's going to be based on yellow. I've got the gym leader gifting part working now. I just need to work on HM items and then plonking as many Pokemon as we can in it. I'll probably do one gift lock without the backports, just to make sure that everything works. And then we'll take it from there. I am also very, very slowly chipping away at the side of an in-game, inbuilt randomizer code for Pokémon Crystal, so that you don't have to use any third-party tools. It will just automatically randomize. I just need to figure out a good algorithm for it. I do want 2026 to be the year where I build in a lot of functionality to the patches that will become useful not just for solo running, but for running in general and playing the game. I'm planning on probably in March, April time, creating a very, very big backlog of videos. And I'll probably take a week or two off stream. So that I can crack on with coding. What do you mean by keep the types the same but randomize the bases? Do you mean the base stat totals? As in randomize the BSTs of the Pokemon coming out? And do you mean a full randomization, or do you mean a shuffle of the base stat totals? So that's an interesting challenge to think about. I reckon shuffling would be doable in-game. My trouble is finding a way of creating consistency with the randomization without it being predictable. Like, the simplest way to randomize would be to set a seed and say if your seed is 10, all the Pokemon just get pushed up 10 slots. It's like Bulbasaur becomes Pokemon number 11. I think that might be one of the Caterpie line. But that's very predictable. So it's then about finding other ways to increase the RNG. Metapod, thank you. To make sure that it doesn't then get to a point where you can reverse engineer and know that, say, Whitney is going to have these 2 Pokemon because Bugsy had those 3 Pokemon. So it's about finding variables that are consistent between resets, but are random enough to be useful. So there's going to be a lot of multiplication and division of certain factors. I have a rough idea. Oh, shit. Oh, didn't mean to say the S word. I do apologise. Oh, shoot. Meant to hold on to the mint berry. That one slipped out. I was too busy thinking about code. And I say that word an awful lot when I'm coding. And now we crit. Of course we frigging crit. I will say that going forward, I think the Nuzlocke streams are just going to be non-PG, so the Friday streams will be F-word Friday. It's been a very long time, actually, since I've accidentally just let a swear word out, and then my brain's taken a beat to register that I've sworn. I've just remembered something. I've got a half-baked Wonder Trade version of Pokémon Crystal. Should we dig that out for a Wonderlock at some point and see if I can fix it so it doesn't crash every so often? I think I did one Wonderlock video and it completely fell on its arse, so I didn't bother fixing the code because nobody wanted to play it. And it wasn't a popular video. Yes, Lance, we'll help you investigate. We don't want to, but we will. It was a prereq in the end, the Wonderlock. So, Wonder Trading is a thing from Gen 6 where you offer up a Pokemon to trade and you'll get completely random Pokemon in return. It is similar to the Gift Lock, but I think I did it as a solo thing. I can't quite remember what I did in the video, which shows how memorable it was. But I think I did it so that I had to trade my Pokemon away every single gym battle. I feel like there was something with the concept there, I just didn't execute it right. I do really wish as well that the 16-bit version of Pokémon Crystal was compatible with GameHook. Because having a Wonderlock version or even a gift lock version actually, with all the backports we've done, we'd have the full Gen 3 decks and then some at our disposal, but there are only 253 Pokemon slots. The workaround, I suppose, would be removing certain existing Pokemon lines and kind of doing our own version of Dexit. But I'd have to see which Pokemon don't come up at all in any trainer party. Or in the wild, for that matter. I think all the baby Pokemon would get the boot in that. And then the choice is, who do we add in? We've got plenty of options for who to add in at this point. I've got to be honest, I can't remember the last time I watched anything on normal telly. Might have been last year at some point. Oh, I watched the Hootenanny for New Year. Jules' Hootenanny. That was the last thing I watched on regular TV. And I think the thing I watched on regular TV before that was the Hootenanny the year before. Yeah, I've never really been a linear TV guy since discovering the internet. I will occasionally watch Match of the Day, but I'm nowhere near invested in football as I was a few years ago. Jasmine time. She should be very, very easy. I've heard that the Game of Thrones finale was not well received, so I can assume that Stranger Things has a similar situation going on. Yeah, I think the drama surrounding especially higher league football is what's putting me off. Like, it's starting to feel more like a soap opera than a sport. I am not a fan of that series anyway, I've got to be honest. Never got into it as a kid. And then as an adult, I tried watching one of the films, God, about 12 years ago. And I didn't get it. Didn't get the love for it. But then I never got into Lord of the Rings either. My granddad took me to see it when I was, what, 9, 10 years old, and I fell asleep in the cinema. To be fair, that original Lord of the Rings film was a very long film, and we had a late showing. I feel that's the way with a lot of media, though. Starts off whimsical, and then to try and keep the viewers hooked, it gets grittier and grittier and grittier, until the point where you're ostensibly reading a novelised version of EastEnders. I think being undiagnosed dyslexic as a child didn't help out. Because I can't read fiction and get engrossed. I'm too busy focusing on all of the words on screen. Well, not on screen, I suppose, on the page. In that instance. So I don't get the chance to do the world building in my head. And audiobooks were not really accessible. Yeah, aphantasia definitely doesn't help either. Like, if I close my eyes, I just see my eyelids. I legit thought people were metaphorically saying, close your eyes and visualize something. I thought they meant just think about it really hard and focus on it. I didn't realize that people can actually see things with their mind. So most of the time when I dream in audio, not visual. Once every blue moon I will get a fairly vivid visual dream, but they are the exceptions to the rule. The storm, I think, has now passed. It was very nasty on the southwest coast. Cornwall had one of its worst storms in many, many, many years. But it took a very southerly track, so the Channel Islands and the north of France were also hit hard, but the southeast and anywhere north of the Midlands had an uneventful day weather-wise yesterday. We are at the end of the current cold spell, though. I reckon by Sunday we'll be back up to double figures in the south of the UK. Probably about 6 or 7 degrees Celsius where I am. But, and this is a big but, keeping an eye on the end of the month. There is a chance for what's known as the Scandi High to move in, and there is a lot of cold air over Scandinavia at the moment. And similar conditions, obviously very simplifying here, similar conditions produce the so-called beast from the east in this country back in 2018. 8 years ago now, if you want to feel old. We gave Price a frosty reception there to get the Glacier badge. You know how much I enjoy warm weather, Canbay, but even I will hope for a return to the cold weather for you. I can't remember who I was talking about this to, rather. But I think that the gap between, for me, 2006 and 2010 feels longer than the gap between kind of 2010 and now, in some ways. Because I came of age between 2006 and 2010. Like, that was my transition from child through teenager into young adult. So, like, a lot more changed in those 4 years mentally and physically than has done over the last 16 years. So mentally it feels like a much bigger time scale in 4 years there than the 16 years preceding it. I wonder though if people, because we're mostly born around the 90s here, I wonder if people born 10 years or so later than us will get a similar thing with 2016 to 2020. In some ways, I do kind of wish that I'd been born a little bit earlier so I could appreciate the millennium a little bit more than I did. Because I didn't really comprehend just how long 1,000 years is. Back when I was 8 years old when the millennium turned. Yeah, there is definitely merit to the idea, well, the fact, it's not an idea, that your frame of reference for time in the past grows longer the longer you've been alive. So 5 years when you're 5 years old is 100% of your life. When you're 35, like I'm going to turn, it's a seventh of your life. I think for me it would have been about celebrating with family. Because that was back when the family was still a family and not completely disjointed. I would imagine that when you turn 90, a year does not feel like a very long time at all. I mean, even now a year flies quicker. I am going to take, after we've taught return, I'm going to take a very quick mental break from playing because my focus is struggling. Like, the after effects of the stress of the game breaking a little bit are starting to show now. So I will put the controller down. I'm going to rehydrate as well because I'm very, very dehydrated. See, we had all the family round at the Millennium. We had my aunt, my great aunt, her children, their partners. And we had a lot of celebrations. A lot of fireworks, a lot of food. Can't remember too much about it, but I remember it was a good night. See, I never experienced my peak at 16 through to 23. Because there was a lot of stuff going on in my family at the time, and a lot of courts involved. So I've kind of like celebrated my peak of my existence after moving away. So I was 27 when I moved, 26 when I moved out of Manchester. And so I'm kind of like just coming out of my personal peak. I do think, though, that at this point in time, I don't celebrate the New Year as much as I used to. For me now, it is just another day, but with an excuse to listen to the Hootenanny and hear some very drunk celebrities give predictions. Yeah, late 20s, early 30s. was definitely my peak. I met my other half when I was 20 in 2011, and that was the start of things looking up, but it wasn't until we moved up here that things really started to feel good again. I said this on New Year's Eve while we were watching the Hootenanny. I don't like the New Year. Thank you, Benny, for the lurk. Have a wonderful rest. I'm not a big fan of the New Year because it feels like you've spent the last 12 months building up and building up and building up. And then you've got to start all over a bloody again. For me, I was more financially stable in my 20s than in my 30s because I had family backing, but I no longer have any family like that, so I don't have the stability, but I'd much rather take my mental health than the extra money that they could provide when things hit the fan. I used to be someone who would go out shopping on New Year's Day, but I realised that I don't really agree with forcing people to work unless they have to, and the times I did go out shopping on New Year's Day, a lot of the time, a lot of the arseholes were out then as well. Like, you know what it's like on New Year's. Well, on any holiday. You seem to get the worst of the worst in the shops. What I like about what I do now is I get to pick my hours. If I'm feeling good and energetic, I get to do more work. And then if I am feeling a bit rough, I can take some time away. Like, next week I'm going to be recording Monday and Tuesday. And then I will probably, if I'm at home, stream Thursday, Friday. And we'll have videos Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday for the foreseeable. But because I do 3 videos a week, I can get 3 videos recorded across Monday and Tuesday. And then not streaming until the Thursday. Doing Thursday, Friday, Sunday for streams. I've got a big break in the week so I can recover. Which means I can put more energy into both the videos and the streaming. So I think that might be the plan going forwards. Have slightly changed how I'm editing as well now, so I'm splitting it into halves. So I'm doing like the first half of the run, getting it all properly edited down with the music, and then I'm doing the second half. I did discover today as well a button in Adobe Premiere, which gets the audio levels for the voiceover all consistent, so hopefully from the videos in like 10 days time or whatever, we won't have the struggle of the audio sources going all over the place because OBS keeps messing up. I don't think I've ever worked New Year's. It's my brother's birthday, so I had an excuse when I was younger to never work New Year. He is 23 now. That's scary to think about. Christmas Day work is fun. Did it once at the casino. There were like 3 of us who volunteered to work, so we kept the roulette table open. And we also shared time in front of each other, in time on the screen together for the first time. If I was still in that casino work, I would still work Christmas Day. But if you're a moderately sized YouTuber like I am, it's not worth working Christmas. Because the whole December market is saturated. Like for me, my January has been a lot better than my December, which is kind of weird to think about. Who's dead enough to be played by Sean Bean? I don't know too much about films, but I do know that Sean Bean normally dies very quickly in films. My first exposure to Sean Bean was GoldenEye. I think it depends on what your focus is on YouTube. Like, if you've got a lot of outgoings because you hire a team, January is a tough month on YouTube. Like, ad revenue-wise, completely agree. January is not great. So on January, I have to... Not have to, but I do rely more on people donating to the channel than other months. But in terms of viewer numbers and channel growth, January is one of my best months. And also, I don't have the pressure on me that I put on myself in December. Because it's kind of a weird thing of... You know that that December's supposed to be a good month if you're a YouTuber, so you do put pressure on yourself to outdo yourself every year. Like, some people do daily videos. I tried that in 24 and I didn't enjoy it. Other people do a lot bigger videos. I am not focused on this one. The other thing I like about January is I can just experiment. Because there is no pressure. If a video doesn't do well, it doesn't do well. If I don't have fun making the video, I don't have fun making the video. But I can give it a go. Like, the next video I'm recording is Brock's challenge through Crystal. No idea how it's going to go. Could be the best idea I've ever had. Could be an absolute hot mess. But I won't know until I give it a go. Oh, thank you so much for the triple meal deal, Kanbei. And YouTube, you can piss off flashing that super chat button for everybody else. I shall definitely be consuming 3 meal deals, possibly all at once tomorrow. I'm coming off metazapine. I think I mentioned this yesterday. And I've still got the hunger side effect, so I am eating myself out of house and home. The channel's fate is entirely determined on this SWANNA run, Kamikiku. Channel's fate is entirely determined on whether we get through to the end or not. If we get 20 resets or more, I think I've got to delete my channel. I think that's part of my contract with YouTube. I can't do a live stream with 20 resets or more. Oh, the Team 11212 is working today. Who knows why? I've given up trying to figure out my own coding at this point. I said nothing about my Twitch contract. My Twitch contract says I have to have 20 resets or more. So I'm buggered either way. My trouble is I generally code stuff at silly o'clock in the morning. Because that's about the only time I can tolerate doing... Flipping heck! It's about the only time I can tolerate doing complex Python coding. I am thinking back to, like, this time last year, where I had nothing running in the background. And I did everything manually. And how the hell did I do that for 3 years nearly? I had that big realization of, oh, I can do things like the title cards controlled by my controller, which saves time in the editing, but took a little while to code. I got up at... What time did I get up? I think I got up at 5 this morning. So it's getting there. I will have you know that the badly timed title cards are a result of this, as opposed to from when I did them manually on the edit. On the edit, they were all timed to perfection. But now, like, I can get an extra Claire there. Double Claire, double the fun. The way I've done it is, in my GameHook mapper, I have renamed the map locations to match the gym leader. Booze in chat for Darren. Swanna's doing well. Me, not so much. Had an absolute disaster zone of a start. Had to completely abandon the first run because we didn't get the scythe. And then I tried to fix it and we ended up with a bad egg. And then my brain has just not been cooperating. This is my 4th run of the day. So I have proper fatigue at this point when it comes to gameplay. But I wanted to get videos recorded because I don't know what's going on next week. I know certain people are going down to see the ill family member, but whether I am included in certain people is a different matter. Thank you once again, Kanbei, for the super chat. You've fallen off the top of the screen. I hope you had a safe landing. We are in the latter half of this Swanna now, though. We haven't seen any problems with our 4 times weakness to electric either yet. A Haunter run would be interesting, actually. I am so glad I don't have to do voiceovers for videos anymore. I really am so glad that I do everything live now, because voiceovers were the worst at times. Can't remember which Emerald video it was. It might have been Blastoise, but that voiceover was done over the course of about 3 weeks. My brain would just not let me do it. also don't know how in the early days of the channel I could do those almost hour-length videos as opposed to voiceover. I was a little bit worried about swapping to the stream of consciousness style of recordings initially. But I think I've just about pulled it off, and I kept the content roughly the same style. It's just instead of stream of consciousness after the fact, it's stream of consciousness while it's happening. And the only voiceovers I have to do in post are the ones where I have accidentally said a naughty word. I listened back to my last Fire Red video, I think it was Lapras, just so that I could try and get an indication of where things were when we left off, because we've got a Fire Red run coming soon. I couldn't believe how screamy and shouty I'd become. Like, genuinely. I was shocked at how loud I was. Like, the voiceover style now is virtually the same as it was at the beginning of the channel. Which I know I mentioned last year is what I wanted to return to. So it is good to be back in that kind of style of content again. Because it's kind of like what we were talking about with building the drama, starting off whimsical, and then adding in drama and drama and drama. If I hadn't nipped it in the bud, I'd just be screaming into the microphone at this point, trying to one-up my voiceovers. But that does mean now, when I get excited, it's for bloody good reason. I hate how bulky Muck is. Koga down. Yeah, Swanna doesn't care about evasion. It's meaningless to our bird. Quack is not doing too badly. We are relying on air/hitting in this battle, but if it does hit, we'll be doing fairly well. We'll use Surf on the Onyx. Then we'll swap back to air/ for the last two Pokemon. Double flinch on the Umbreon's a really good start. We are on a timer now, though, because of Curse, but that shouldn't matter too much. I love the HP up tech as well. I mean, it didn't come into the equation in this one, but it is really useful to know. I love cheesing Karen. Nice, nice, nice crit there. Should be a very easy battle. Cheesing Karen is justice for all the times we've been screwed over by her. Lance doing his best there to slow us down by making me have to swap between moves. $55-34 for the Lance split. Let's bring this run to the completion. Going to be a straight swap here from Hidden Power Ice to Ice Beam. And I reckon this is going to be our final learn set, you know. Can't see any other moves being helpful. I don't like how much of a time loss the move tutor is, though. You may notice in some runs that we've got in more recent times, I'm avoiding the move tutor unless we absolutely need him. And like, if I can deal with Ice Punch or Thunder Punch as an example, over Ice Beam and Thunder Bolts, I will use those. Because he is such a time sink. Get the rare candy from the chairman. We're not going to do Surge yet. I feel like that would not be a smart decision to make. So we'll go in to Erica's gym first. I really don't like how many mandatories Erica has in Gen 2. I know she has a lot of mandatories in Gen 1 as well. But like, this is post-game. Get us to the leader, please. Ice Beam would have been a much nicer TM from Price. Or does she only have one actual mandatory in Gen 1? Just feels like more because she's chock full of people in there. $59.10 for Erica's badge. The fact that Sub-Hour League is now ostensibly standard unless we're a really bad Pokemon is kind of astonishing, really. I remember the days when we celebrated Sub-Hour League as if we'd made a major achievement. And now look at us, we're about to get our second Cantonian badge in just over the hour mark. We now officially, by the way, outspeed Red's Pikachu. 171 is Pikachu's speed. We have 172, and that's going to grow up to 175. We'll outspeed everything at Red by the time we get there. Yeah, 90 minutes used to be the benchmark of a good run. Now it's sub 110. And even sub 110 is becoming a little bit crowded. Like, there'll come a time probably where 105 is the new benchmark, depending on time saves that have been found. I've lost the bloody ladder in here for the second time today, goodness me. Can tell I'm fatigued. I'm going to take that room again. No, not an escape rope. What the... Are we nearly out? No. I have no idea what's gone on here, I've got to be honest. I don't know what room we're in at this point. There we go, we're on the way out. Apologies about that, I'm going to chalk it up to extreme fatigue. At this point in the run, I've been trying to keep the energy up, but I am very, very, very tired. Pushed myself a little bit too hard by getting 3 videos done earlier. But then we've just got to get through January. And everything will be back to normal. Flippin' heck. The game is being mean. Depending on how well the red fight goes, we are still on pace for a good time. I think sub 115 is not off the cards, seeing as this is the last real slog of the challenge. You got to remember though, we are a gym leader down. Excuse me. We haven't done Surge yet. I do like how many Pokemon on this bridge are weak to ice. Only 2 more trainers on Nugget Bridge as well now. Then we could all go home. The iconic level 29 Paris. Everybody loves it. Definitely one of the biggest opponents that we come up against in the course of this challenge. Nice flinch on the Paris. That means we're not getting perish-songed. Even nicer flinch on the Starmie means we're not getting confused. That was a really good Misty. Went about as well as it could have done at level 60. Why am I air ballooning? We Abra. Get ourselves Zap Cannon. Feel bad that we can't learn it. Get the X-Men card. $50 Pokemon not used by trainers. Well, I see that as 50 slots for us to eventually put gift lock Pokemon in. Pokemon like the legendary birds are going to be dead certs to get rid of. I think all legendaries and mythicals, actually. Because that way we're not running overpowered Pokemon. Then there are certain lines that would be more suited, should we say, to Gen 2 than others. Like some of the later Gen Pokemon are probably a bit too much power creepy to be justified putting into a gift lock challenge. Now that I think about it, I can't actually remember ever seeing someone with a Mareep in this game. So that does make sense. Now, spare a thought for poor old Blaine. Yeah, the Nidoking line is the only 4-stage line in this game. Penultimate gym leader is blue. My move order's all over the place here. One shot the Alakazam, that was one of the Pokemon I was worried about. Nope, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do double air slash. This battle's free now. Not sure about healing loops, so we'll just soften it up a little bit with a Surf to begin with. Earth Badge acquired. final gym leader time. Well, first we've got to get through Eggy Greggy here. With his Fluffy. I'm really liking SWANNA as well. I think give it a few months and I'll do a redo of this one. Possibly alongside something like Cramorant, maybe Pelipper. We're now at the point where we can one-shot everything with Surf in here. So we don't need to worry too much. Now, because we don't have the best offensive stats in the world, I am going to take on an extra trainer or two so that we can get up to 64. Hoping that we can get it off gem here. Not quite. We'll do a wild on the way up to Silver Cave. That'll do it. Three Drill's got too many Pokemon and not enough experience points to justify. Should get it off this Ponyta. Yeah. Off to the thumbnail we go. So, oh, that thumbnail's lies, isn't it? There we go. Correct thumbnail on this source. Swapping to the thumbnail to do the rare candying just so that it doesn't hurt anybody's eyes. Because I know that there is a lot of flashing. In the rare candies. Apologies, my brain is struggling. I'm also going to do the Silver Cave movement off screen. Just see if that makes any difference. The answer is yes. It seems to be a pressure thing, like the mental pressure of getting through Silver Cave. But now we should be ready. Probably don't want to hold on to the Bitterberry any longer. Leftovers time, and we will try to cheese. I think that's the best we can do in this particular battle. Surf should one-shot the Pikachu at least. Pair of air slashes will get through the Pescion, and we flinched it. Bloody hell. What is going on with these flinches? Have I coded this incorrectly or something? SWANNA is locked in. 113.27. Oh yeah, that'll do it. Air slash was coded incorrectly. It was 100% flinch chance. We'll keep it as a run anyway. It's fine. That means, actually, the Flamigo run is invalid. Because I nabbed it from Flamigo. Yeah, I nabbed the same line of code. Should we see where we are on the leaderboard? Oh, unlucky for some. 13th. Yeah, at least we see how busted 100% flinch move is. I will say at some point during the league, I was like, we're getting a lot of flinches here. But I didn't question it. I reckon that is still roundabout fair for SWANNA. Why is that font wrong? That font should be Museo now. There we go. That's better. So yeah, 13th place overall. I think that's roughly fair for SWANNA. Now, I may be back on Sunday to do Blaziken. If not, it will be Thursday next week if I'm at home. We'll play it by ear next week, I think. It's either going to be Sunday, Thursday, or Tuesday for the next stream. I do want to say a very big thank you to everybody for coming into stream today. I know it's been a little bit disjointed, a little bit all over the place. Hope you all had fun regardless, though. I do want to say thank you to Kamikiku for the £20 super chat, and to Kanbei for the 3 meal deal super chat as well. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend now. Take care of yourselves, have a brilliant weekend, and I will catch you all very, very soon. Kamikiku, what the bloody hell do you think you're doing? Thank you so much for the extra, very, very late £10 super chat. You can't keep me here forever doing this, though. Right, now, I will take care of myself and my family, don't worry, and the last word I will say is quack. Sorry, it's the world's longest goodbye.